Hi, beautiful souls. Have you ever felt that you give and give and give, and yet the person that you're with or your parents, it's just never enough? And no matter how you try to be better, do better, give more, it's still never enough. The pattern continues, the theme remains that no matter what you do for people, they never think it's enough. This, my friend, is the story of a typical empath and people pleaser. Something that I know only too well, being a former people pleaser in the past. And don't get me wrong, sometimes in the present moment, if I'm very stressed, if things are going on, I can resort straight back to that old behavior. But I'm aware of what those triggers are now and how to prevent them from happening. So if this is you, my friend, I want to share with you what I call the people pleasing prison, where empaths live a life that is truly restricted. I remember when I discovered this stuff myself, I wasn't aware that I was a people pleaser or an empath, and I wasn't aware that I was stuck in a prison and the key to get out had been in my pocket all along. So I wasn't aware there was a prison, I wasn't aware there was a key, and I wasn't aware that I was living my whole life defined by this psychological prison that I had been trapped into. Obviously later on, as I qualified as a counsellor and then I started working in my private practice, I began to realise that many of my clients who suffered narcissistic abuse from their partners, which is something I have done myself also, happened to be people pleasers. And it was just like a hand going into a glove. The more I gave, the more they took. And that was it. It was a simple pattern, but there were so many more layers to it. And one thing I'd always remembered as a child was how I would have a packet of crisps in infant school. I think they cost like 2.5 pence back then. And I remember really looking forward to my crisps. And I would open the packet of crisps and immediately I would just put my hand out and offer my crisp to all the kids going past. And naturally, as kids do, they would just put their hands in and just take a load. And then by the time I'd have my crisp packet, there would be none left. And the following day, what did I do? I'd done the same again. And it was already ingrained, the belief that my needs didn't matter. And my conscious behaviors were clearly defining one simple truth, that I needed something from these other children that I wasn't consciously aware of. And what I actually needed was their approval, validation, and acceptance of me. And I was willing to give my last crisp away as a child, even to get that. Obviously, as I grew older, that spilled over into different scenarios. If I went to a cinema with a friend, I would always say, no, what do you want to watch? I'll watch what you want to watch. Obviously, because of the underpinning belief that my needs didn't matter. And then, it could be even deciding what restaurant to go. I wouldn't choose a restaurant. I wouldn't choose a film because unconsciously I was avoiding conflict. I was avoiding the fear of being disliked, and I needed other people's approval and validation of me. So how do you break out of the pain of people pleasing? Well, number one, you recognize the patterns that are creating the people pleasing. For example, let's just say a millionaire comes to counselling. Everybody on the outside looking in are wondering what the hell is going on in this millionaire's life that's making him so unhappy. On the outside looking in, they think he has everything. Beautiful wife and children. What could possibly be making him depressed? But when he comes to therapy, it's almost like peeling back the layers of an onion. And when you get to look inside, you can see that he's done the job that his dad always wanted him to do. He's married the woman his mother would approve of. He's living in the area that his wife has chosen, and actually there is no him in his life. Maybe he's gay or transgender, or he could be anything. The one thing is for sure, he is living a lie. He's not being his authentic self, which is, as empaths and people pleasers, we need to learn to care better. And you're probably saying right now, but Steph, how the hell can I care even more than I already do? The truth is, by caring better, that means about caring about you as much as you care about others. At the moment, it's almost like if there's a seesaw, then you're at the bottom and everybody else is up here, because you need everybody else's approval, validation, and acceptance of you to feel happy, because you haven't learned how to give them to yourself as yet. By caring better, it's actually you are in balance with everybody else. You care about others, but you also care about yourself. You no longer ignore your own needs at the cost of your health, the cost of your physical health, your mental health, at the cost of your happiness, in order to please others. At the moment, unconsciously, your life script is from a I'm not okay, you're okay position, which is why you'll bend over backwards and do anything else to please others, so as you get their approval, validation, and acceptance from them. But what if, my friend, you started today to give it to yourself? What if, instead of needing the approval, validation, and acceptance from others, that you started to approve of yourself, that you changed your relationship with yourself, that you started to love and care and respect yourself? Think of one tiny thing that you can do today to start showing yourself approval, acceptance, and validation. It just begins with one tiny thing. The toll of people pleasing can cost you your happiness. It can cost you your relationships. It can affect your mental health. You can have financial difficulties through it, because you can be forever giving away money. The one thing that you were programmed not to do is to hurt anybody's feelings and not to say no. When you learn to figure in your own life, your whole life will change. If you'd like to find out more on how I can help you personally, please arrange a 15-minute clarity call with me. I'll pop my email down below the video and I'll put it up on the screen here for you. And one of my favorite quotes is, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So today, make that choice, my friend, to figure in your life. Start caring about yourself as much as you care about others. So my dear friend, please drop a thumbs up below if you are going to commit to caring better today by finally starting to figure in your own life.